Let's get right into this explainer. Today, we are unpacking a truly incredible piece of history that is going to completely challenge how we think about courage. We're looking at the life of Murlidhar Devidas Amte, though you probably know him better as Baba Amte. And what we're really exploring here is how one person managed to take this absolutely paralyzing, deep-seated personal fear and somehow turn it into an engine for massive social change. We are talking about a guy who went from living a life of total, absolute comfort to becoming the architect of this radical, compassionate community. So stick with me because this story is absolutely going to reframe how you look at your own potential. So picture this for a second. What actually makes a highly privileged lawyer just up and abandon his entire comfortable lifestyle? It's kind of a wild paradox, right? Amate was a guy who literally had it all. He had the status, the education, the wealth, and the super secure future in the legal world. I mean, most of us spend our whole lives grinding just to get a tiny fraction of that kind of security. And yet he just walked away, completely walked away. To understand a pivot that drastic, going from serious wealth to spending every waking moment fighting for the most marginalized people on earth, we have to look for the spark. People just don't blow up their comfortable reality without a major disruptive event. So what was it? What was the catalyst that changed everything? Okay, let's dive into this. The turning point? It was this really raw, jarring, and honestly deeply uncomfortable moment. Amate came face to face with a suffering leprosy patient. Now, we have to remember the context here. Back then, leprosy wasn't just a tough medical diagnosis, it was a literal social death sentence. People who caught it were totally cast out, heavily stigmatized, and completely abandoned by society because everyone was just so terrified of catching it. And when Amate first saw this suffering person, his initial reaction was that exact same terror. He was terrified. This is so crucial to understand. He was looking at the physical embodiment of society's ultimate fear. And right there, in that exact moment, he had to decide who he was actually going to be. And that encounter, that became the absolute core of his entire story. It motivated him to overcome his own personal fear and directly take on the massive social stigma surrounding the disease. You know, we have this habit of picturing historical heroes as these totally fearless, superhuman figures who never feel anxiety. But the actual history gives us a much more relatable and honestly a much more powerful truth. Amate was scared out of his mind. His heroism wasn't about not being afraid. It was his deliberate, agonizing choice to face his own intense terror head-on. By refusing to just turn around and walk away from that patient, he wasn't just fighting a sickness. He was directly attacking the overwhelming societal rejection that came with it. Let's move to and see how this builds, because it's basically a giant domino effect. You start with those early years, the privileged, comfortable life of a successful lawyer. Then, bam, that single, terrifying, pivotal encounter with the leprosy patient that we just talked about. That one day completely rewrote his trajectory. He took all that conquered fear and just channeled it straight into action. By 1949, he has established this physical sanctuary called Anandwan. And then, looking at the decades that followed, that one single act of bravery just snowballed. It turned into this massive, enduring legacy of dismantling prejudice across all sorts of new areas. Breaking down one huge internal barrier literally created a cascade of change that lasted a lifetime. So let's talk about what actually happened when he built that sanctuary. Because Anandwan wasn't just a hospital, and it definitely wasn't just a camp. When it was established in 1949, it was a true communal sanctuary. Amte basically built an entirely new world for people who had been 100% thrown away by their own communities. Just think about how profound that is for a second. If the whole world is telling you that you're fundamentally broken and wants nothing to do with you, Anandwan was designed to be the ultimate safe haven. It was built to heal the body with medical care, train the mind with vocational skills, and, maybe most importantly, give back that deep sense of belonging for the human spirit. And this brilliantly illustrates the real philosophical genius behind what Baba Amte was doing. It's the stark contrast between mere charity and actual, genuine empowerment. Look, it's pretty easy to just hand out aid, right? To just throw money or basic resources at a problem from a nice, comfortable distance. But Amte saw that while charity might keep a person breathing, it doesn't actually give them their life back. In fact, sometimes handouts just reinforce that feeling of helplessness that society forced on them in the first place. So instead, he went all in on empowerment and self-reliance. He wanted to teach people how to truly support themselves so they weren't just surviving as outcasts anymore, but actually thriving as capable, independent people. So how do you actually pull that off? The blueprint for reclaiming dignity through action was actually incredibly practical. Step 1, obviously you address the immediate suffering with proper medical care. Get people healthy. Step 2, you provide vocational training, real, tangible skills they can use. Step 3, you wrap all of that up in serious community support and a shared sense of belonging. But here's the real secret sauce: dignity restored through labor. Amte absolutely believed that doing physical, meaningful work was literally the best medicine for a broken spirit. By actually working the land, building their own houses, and contributing to the sanctuary, the forgotten residents of Ananwan proved to themselves and to the whole world that they had immense value. And the truly wild part about all of this? Conquering that one singular fear of leprosy basically acted as a master key for him. His impact didn't just stop at the borders of Anandwan. His legacy eventually expanded into this massive, lifelong commitment to broader human rights and even environmental conservation. It's like once he proved to himself that he could dismantle deep-rooted prejudice and build the impossible, he just couldn't stop. He took that exact same fierce, fearless compassion and applied it to protecting the environment and fighting for the basic rights of other marginalized groups. It is just a massive testament to the fact that once you ignite compassionate action, it spreads like wildfire. Which brings us right back to you. If one guy can dismantle decades of societal prejudice, build a literal sanctuary for the rejected, and change the world just by making the choice to conquer his own paralyzing fear, what fear are you going to conquer today? Seriously, what uncomfortable truth or difficult conversation or daunting project are you turning away from right now? Baba Amte's story is the ultimate proof that the life you want and the impact you are actually capable of making is waiting for you right on the other side of your fear. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I will catch you next time.